This is our dorms. Comparison notes time. All right.
You guys get cold.
It was freezing up there. Man, like literally freezing up there.
I just put enough layers on.
It's kind of cool. It's always comfy.
Yeah, I couldn't even sit on the floor. I was like, I'm in my chair. When can I do it?
I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass.
You got a chair in the van now.
Oh yeah, that.
You better carry that fucking chair. I ain't carrying shit.
I'm gonna go around the house with that mop like that and sweeping because we have nothing but hard floor.
We got wood.
Just
Do you have any of those EVPs you'd like to share?
But, but we are probably got like 50 of those already. Just having to scramble, going through all those. Is
Sure thing.
But oddly enough, the responses that we were getting were mostly because girls being assaulted or girls being
Watched,
touched, yeah, that type of stuff. So like,
Didn't we say this?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because that window is broken in a janitor's closet right by the women's restroom.
Yep.
We had the sense of a peeping Tom.
Yeah, so that's why earlier when we were doing photos, I kind of told her this, I want to come back over here because for some reason, this restroom. And then when I walked her in there, she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So when we went over there, that's the first one that we did. And literally we were getting, I think one of the names, because we asked like, who is the person that's like peeping Tom on you? And I guess one of them was Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Was a name that came out on actual straight EVP recorder. It was Jesse. And then we were asking like, who is your favorite person to watch? And it just said Amber. Like, we don't know who Amber is or anything. I heard something outside.
Yeah.
So, we did solo sessions. We went back and forth, all this other stuff. We got some EVPs, but we had a good amount of class A's. The other ones were like, C's. We can barely hear what they were saying, all this other stuff. But you can just kind of feel where this was going already. So we're like, okay, well, let's just go. And we only got like an hour or so. So we went upstairs. And then we went into the, which one was it? Well, where we got the most craziest stuff was second floor in that big middle room when you're going up to the right.
With all the handprints?
No, the one
Right before.
Yeah, right before.
Okay.
So while when you're going up to the right.
With all the handprints?
No, the one
Right before.
Yeah, right before.
Okay.
So while so after we're doing that, we started asking more questions, and then like the whole vibe of the room just changed. Like it got super, super darker than dark. We're just like chilling, just watching everything just kind of unfold. And then the lights from downstairs, you could kind of see how somebody was like walking back and forth, and you could see the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on in there? So we're just like looking, and then all of a sudden the lights are just off. They're gone. I'm like, okay. Then I decided to put a recorder in the hall while we were asking questions in the room. And then at that moment, we started noticing like some type of figure in the doorway, and I seen it kind of just appear to the right hand side, and you seen it on your left hand side,
Yeah.
and my right hand side. So as soon as I saw that, it was like, when you're in the dark and like your eyes are trying to adjust to everything,
right.
And you start seeing these weird shapes. So we're just like sitting there trying to watch that, but all of a sudden, from my point of view, from watching him, I'm watching the door and I can see him right here, but then like it was like this darkness just kind of went up. Instead of going down like it would usually do when your eyes are going ready, this thing went up this way, and I was just like, what the hell is that? And I'm thinking to myself, what is that? Because you can see it.
And where is this, in the high school?
Yeah, in the high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, you can see it, and it almost looked like a dark blanket just going upwards. I'm just like, okay, that's a note. That's some crazy shit that's going on. Okay, cool. But then after that, we really didn't get anything on EVP in that room at all. It was just coming from like Ovilus and then his app. He has a little bit more names coming on his app. And
We heard a lot of things audibly. We heard whistling and
whistling too, yeah.
a lot of knocks and taps and
Yep.
stuff like
It was
that.
mostly like this little finger
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, just like that. And it was, I don't know anything about Morse code or anything like that. So like, I don't know the one. It was, I don't know anything about Morse code or anything like that. So like, I don't know the ones or twos or anything like what they mean. But it sounded like it was intelligent enough to where it was actually responding to what our questions were. You know, so you could hear we would ask something, you go, or, you know, depending on what it was. So yeah, it was pretty strange in there.
Okay, so not much in the gym. It was all in the high school.
Well, I'll let you guys put together on the high school part now. So then when we go to gym, we'll talk about gym together.
Okay, so what do you don't want to hear? You don't want to hear about the gym.
No, well, I mean, I put it together when we talk about it together.
Okay, so with our experiences in the gym, I'll start with the gym.
Okay.
We were getting a lot of action if you're standing in the center of the logo.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting a lot of action in the bleachers that are folded up, right? In that right-hand corner, okay? Whenever I would go up there or Ron would go up there, I would smell smoke of cigarette smoke, like somebody was up there smoking. And for a second there, I thought my thing was on, my thing right there was on fire because it was in my pocket, and that was not it. But when I went up there to that corner, it's like I ran into a heat wave. Like I ran into something that was on fire. I don't know why, okay? And that's when I started asking, is anybody smoking? Who likes to smoke? Or something to do with smoking, right?
Yeah.
We started using the SB11, and that's when we started getting the coaches, okay, a coach, and then a football. We don't know if they're connected or why they would respond, and the SB11's in reverse at 250, right? Clean enough for them to respond in a forward manner.
Mm-hmm.
That's the refrigerator. It would go away when we would go up there.
Yeah.
We saw light action in that corner as well. We got the word suicide clear as day on the SB11 while sitting in the center on the basketball floor on the logo. And then we got it
That
once.
shot me.
Right. So I'm not sure if you guys have done any history research on this property. There were 3 prior students, all football players here. One of them went to UT, I think it was. And during his time in UT, the 3 friends, 2 of them brothers and the other one not, all football players, all graduates from this school. The one that went to UT came back into town and murdered them in their sleep.
Oh, wow.
It was in the paper. It's a legitimate story. He's in prison. 2016. I didn't catch the date. I wasn't looking at the date. It was recent, not too far. Check for the dates on that one. So we were getting suicide. We got shot me, and when we got shot me, that's what brought up that story of the 2 boys that were murdered by the friend. So I think, in my opinion, in the gym upstairs in the arena area is the coach, and maybe one of the boys that were murdered come back to the school because that was familiar to him.
Yeah.
They were murdered sleeping, so they probably don't know they're dead, but we can't confirm it.
It
So
was published on April 18th, 2021.
it's recent.
Yeah, okay.
A 21-year-old shot a 22-year-old and 20-year-old.
Wow.
So they're all were graduates of this school.
It happened in the 11th block of Texas Avenue, which is that main road.
Mm-hmm. So even though it happened in 2021, what year did they graduate?
Block of Texas Avenue, which is that main road.
Mm-hmm. So even though it happened in 2021, what year did they graduate? Because this school was open until
If they're 20 and 22, typically graduates happen in at 17 or 18 years old.
But what year? What was the year?
Um,
I'd say probably 2018, maybe
18.
17 or 18.
so they're one of the last 5 graduating classes.
So my opinion, I think if it is one of the brothers,
One of the last 5 graduating classes.
so my opinion, I think if it is one of the brothers,
Oh, yeah.
But it went completely silent.
And then it, yeah, they have.
waiting for a response to.
Okay, so, and you can chime in and you can chime in too as well. So going into the gym, he put down the red pod in the center of the logo, and immediately it was like, and it just went off for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And the moment that I put a camera in front of it, it was
They
like, nope.
So are you guys recording all of this?
Yeah.
All okay.
Yeah, and it just didn't do shit. I was like, well, okay. We sat up there for about, 5-10 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that, just kind of just waiting for something to happen. Nothing happened.
Letting the building talk.
And
Yeah.
then we were like, you know what, let's go back down to the girls' locker room where we actually got some stuff. Around that time, she was already asking, like, is there a fire? Has there been a fire here? Yeah, Jordan. And we don't know, because earlier she was smelling smoke at the high school. And
No, it was whenever we came in the gym
Was it
the
the
first
gym?
time.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever we started.
yeah, so she was already asking earlier about that, and I'm just like, I don't know. We don't know. You know,
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The gym was burned down in 1977,
Thought so.
rebuilt in 1978 to what it is today.
I picked it up from home,
Oh, wow.
all the way from the house. I picked up something there.
It's weird.
Yeah.
You smell like cigarettes, but she smelled smoke. So
Yeah, no, it was like, it smelled like wood burning smoke. It wasn't cigarette smoke, it was wood burning smoke.
So,
Yeah, 'cause when we were in the gym and we were standing there and he was asking questions and stuff, like, it was really weird because suddenly, like, all I could see was everything was on fire. I mean, the entire gym, and I was like, that doesn't make sense because this, I mean, I didn't know the gym had been there for, however long.
That's not the original gym.
Yeah, well, I didn't know, so I was just like, maybe.
same thing. Girl trauma was happening. It's all over again. Something about the girls that got either they were getting watched or somebody abused them or something like that. But straight up, just EVPs about that. The most convincing one was with Michael, where we put him in the girl shower, and immediately was like, I mean, I can't remember what exactly.
As soon as I stepped in, they said hi, and then after that,
Oh, the other one was I am pissed. You
Yeah.
could hear it. I am pissed. Because we were like, what the hell? What are they pissed about? All this other stuff. And around that time, we started asking questions about the janitor again, being the same person that's doing the same thing over here. And then that's when that freaking water fountain kicked in. It's like,
Scared the shit out of me.
scared the shit out of everybody.
And you're recording at this time?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all recording and everything, and they were just. She was hearing voices of a young girl or something like that chattering in the next shower. I mean, you name it. It was all going on, but it was just like, okay, this is just weird because what you picked up versus what we're getting is completely different.
And what it had told us on the necrometer whenever we had walked down there the first time, it literally said, I'm a good spirit. We're like, why don't you say you're a good spirit? And then suddenly we were standing there and it goes, are you afraid of us? We're like, no. And then everything started happening. We heard the taps coming. It sounded like on the basketball court.
So the same
And
thing
then-
that was happening over here, we would hear taps to our questions.
And it also said burned whenever we went down there.
Yeah.
After you were saying about what you were saying.
Yeah, we had asked it if it had burned, like if she got burned in the shower maybe, and it said yes, and that's when it had told us it was a good spirit. But I mean, I don't know, like to me, like it felt like it was like kind of the same thing, but the vibe over there is a lot stronger than the vibe over here.
Whatever was happening over there at the high school was completely going crazy.
Yeah.
Brandon, can you text Jennifer and ask her to find out something about the janitor name, the years that he worked here, why did he quit, or if he's still alive?
The three
I
names that we
know
got were
one of the janitors, Tracy has tried to get a hold of because he's the one that has
Knows all the
blueprints.
blueprints, yeah.
And then another janitor we sold with the agreement to getting the property for the price we did, we sold the baseball field behind the band hall.
Mm-hmm.
We sold that to one of the janitors, but he currently works at the new one still. So he's still a janitor.
So he's still okay.
Yeah, but
So
I
get some names for me. Maybe we were missing something and we can put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, just the overall. I mean, we didn't even get into all the other rooms. Everything was just from-
Very heightened energy. Very. Yeah.
It's just like, cool.
Yeah, they don't like it. They what I'm getting is if there is something here like supernatural and it honestly is not effects of the power that's still around, right? Being put up all that EMF readings plus the mold, right? So that's another thing you got to put into play because mold and black mold will psychologically screw you.
Well, in that room where we were at, that was where most of the outlets were.
Yeah, that's where the whole back room.
That's
were.
where that whole back
But
room was.
I mean, even if it was, mold or anything, and I mean our eyes playing tricks, I mean we still had answers on both the Ovilus, the necrometer, and we had EVPs all coming through that were clear. And I mean audibly, like you could hear a lot of.
And they were all meshing together with the same responses,
Yeah.
same answers.
I mean, the necrometer got a lot more names, I think, than what we had with the Ovilus. But literally, when we went into that, when we got upstairs, the Ovilus kept freezing, and that literally when we went into that, when we got upstairs, the Ovilus kept freezing, and that it doesn't freeze on us. Once it's on a battery pack, it doesn't freeze. So we literally had to shut it off, I think like 4 or 5 times for it to actually start working. And then once we were in the main room, after like 10 minutes, it just stayed on. But I mean, once we really started asking certain questions, like it didn't want to answer us anymore. The EVPs got silent, the necro got silent, like everything
In the
was.
high school, except for the
Weird.
restroom, there was no EVPs in the restroom. Nothing at all.
What'd you say?
Jen sent me a screenshot of employees. I don't know if they are current or past, but both are female. Amelia and Arelid, Arelid. They're both female.
Well, I told you guys too, though, like it might not have been a janitor, it might have been a teacher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean.
You're right. You're probably right.
Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean, anybody could have had access into that room. I mean, the window's literally just right there, so.
The girls.